I'm Isadora Vaughan. I'm an artist from Naarm, from Melbourne. One of the key concerns for me with this work was to try and show different ways that we engage with nature and the paradoxes that are involved in experiencing the outdoors both as resource but also a force in and of itself. My intention is to create this quite cacophonous environment which has structural, sculptural, industrial elements combined with subtle, handmade, finely kneaded, polished surfaces. Clay often is like one of the foundational materials in things that I create, but I'll bring in many different other things because I'm not able to execute on the scale that I'd like to entirely with clay. This room at ACCA is something that has enabled me to do things perhaps that I wouldn't have done otherwise. It's probably a good example of how I can make any space, no matter how big, have moments of intimacy or intensity. The Macfarlane Commission has made a very positive impact on myself as an artist. It gives you the money to not have to go somewhere else to earn it, so that you can actually foster your ideas and you can really invest in your practice.
My name is Sidney McMahon and I'm an artist working across sculptural installation and video. The work I've made for Overlapping Magisteria is called Of Sorrow and Release and is about the processing of sorrow and grief. In a lot of my work I deal with memories and how we process these things into the world and into ourselves as well. This one is looking at myself at the moment and thinking about how do we mourn and how do we feel a sense of sorrow for our previous selves.
Restart. I'm searching for something. I know it's in here.
The video work that sits within this installation is this metaphor of technology and of ourselves and how we sort of function to try and relate to this feeling of processing sorrow.
Restart.
It feels important to think through where we've been and to try and understand how those moments layer on top of each other to sort of add to who we are.
Hi, I'm Sam. I'm a disabled, queer, intersectional feminist. I'm also an artist who works and lives in Naarm. My arts practice is about my interaction with the world around me. I have been primarily working with plasticine. People tend to treat me as a child, so I enjoy taking this childish substance and making it my own. I'm drawn to space because so much of it is cut off to me. I need more spaces, both physically and mentally. I really want to work on the rusty metal, and although I thought it would be nice, it was important that the oil from the plasticine didn't stain it. So I decided to use cling wrap as a semi-sexual substance, and a film between me and the world that I often feel. This commission made me excited about artwork again. I was feeling quite drained by always worrying about the nuts and bolts, whether or not I would receive the support everyone needs. I was free to explore just the conceptual side of the work and have fun, plain old fun.
My name is Robert Andrew. I'm a visual kinetic artist. My work looks at Indigenous histories and mainly personal family Indigenous histories. This new work for Overlapping Magisteria is called Tracing Inscriptions, and it's a kinetic time-based work. I've got a plotter-like mechanism that traces text, and on each side of the plotter there's 25 strings that go across the ceiling. Over a period of time, the charcoal branches will mark the wall. branches get caught and they'll pull out and then slap back against the surface, and then you'll get rocks that get caught on each other and they'll sort of clunk and bang, and I've created a certain amount and then it continues on that artwork. Part of a space like this is mark making over time and putting back something that we lose sight of within the landscape that we're on.
My name is Mimosa Echard. I work and live in Paris. Mostly, I could say I'm doing painting with different kind of elements, stories and references. It's like a layering of materials and signification that are combined together to create an intense surface. For the show at ACCA, I really dive into certain kind of processes that I really enjoy. I've always been so obsessed by transformation. So when I'm working, I just pay attention to the process and how things can just develop. I want the work to be able to talk about a lot of things that doesn't have a proper language. Composition is a really important part of my process. Sometimes everything is done when it's dry, but most of the time I have to work again and again to find a certain balance.